I just got a text message from you.
Great afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Lunch and Learn with OTrain. We're starting off a very exciting series this year, and as you'll notice, for those of you that joined us last year, that Shane and I are actually sitting beside each other today, so that's a bit weird.
It is a bit weird. We've got elbows out, trying to get out of the way. But, we'll see how we go. It should be a good day. I'm looking forward to it.
Excellent. If you're watching from our special hosted page, you'll notice that there's a Q&A box just down below, so we'd love for you to engage throughout today. Ask our special guest speaker any questions that you like, and when it's appropriate, we'll interrupt and ask them. So we have very special guests today, Monty Hughes from Aussie Web Conversion, who will be talking to us about workforce development and his vision for his business as to what he does. But first of all, I'll hand it over to Shane, and he can welcome you into the year.
Hey guys, thanks for joining us today in what's the first of our workforce development series. So as Emma said, we've got Monty with us today. Really excited. Monty's had 0 turnover of staff in 12 years. And in fact, he's just pointed out to me before we went live that the last staff member he lost actually bought his business and went off to run it on his own. So really looking forward to having Monty talk to us more about that.
Excellent. So Shane, you've asked me to put together a workforce development series for the first quarter this year. Can you tell us why that you feel that's so important for our audience? So
anyone who knows me knows that I'm all about culture. I believe that all of our businesses pretty much have the same strategy. We can fudge it around the edges, but it's almost always the same in our industry. We can't control external factors, but we can control internal factors, and the main one we can control is around culture. And really, at the end of the day, the organisation with the best culture wins. It's that simple. And I think culture's been overcomplicated in the last few years, and it's a bit like healthy eating or fitness, where it's almost this big dark thing that everybody knows we need to get it, and we know we need to eat healthy, or we know we need to have a good culture, but nobody really understands what that means or how to achieve it or what it is. So I'm really excited to bring all these guys together over the next quarter to talk about what they're doing in their business, whether they're someone like Monty running their own business and putting these things into place, or some of the consultants and specialists that we've got coming in to talk on particular things, just to give you some really simple and easy tools in your business that you can use to really drive culture and start to get that competitive advantage.
It's that funny intangible within your workplace which is really tangible, isn't it?
Absolutely. And when you walk into an organisation that's got a good culture, you can feel it in the air. It's got a smell and a sense of touch, and just everything about it works. And it's a really special feeling when you're involved in one of those businesses. And
absolutely.
Hopefully some of our viewers today can learn some tricks and build that in their own organisation.
So if you've got any ideas about culture, we'd love to learn from you guys. So again, that Q&A box just down the bottom there, then type in any suggestions and we'll certainly air them and discuss them. We'd love to hear from you guys.
Remember, these are live and interactive lunch and learn sessions, so it is about you. We put on the speakers, we're going to ask some questions to get things started, but if you've got a question, you've got something to add, let's get it involved because it is about you. And remember, we've only got 30 minutes. We finish at 12:30 sharp, so let's get on with it.
Excellent. So I'd love to introduce you to one of my favourite mentors who has taught me so much over the years. I think it's about 7 or 8 years now, Monty. Monty Hughes, who's the owner of Aussie Web. He is the Mr. Google. He's my Mr. Google for Australia, but he's one of the 8 Mr. Googles, if you like, for Australia. He sells AdWords and support for every single one of our businesses. And welcome to Lunch and Learn with OTrain, Monty.
Good day. Hello.
Hi. So Monty, would you mind giving us a bit of a background to who you are and what you do?
Okay. I'll keep it reasonably short so we can add value to your clients and customers rather than have me waffle on. But
you always add value, but go for it.
Aussie Web started in 1996, ostensibly as a web development company. And we actually created our own property at one point, a website still trades today called Vroom Vroom Vroom, which is a car rental comparison website. And we were actually using Google AdWords to drive traffic to that before Google was a public company. And it was very successful because at that time, big companies like Hertz and Avis and Budget didn't know what Google was. And we were successfully selling a lot of cars online. I sold that business And once I sold it, then the question is, what do I do? And so we created AussieWebConversion.com to take our skills of using Google AdWords to drive traffic to people's websites and made that available to the well, just anybody online in Australia. And we got recognized by Google a few years later, and they said, hey, you do this really well. We'd like to make you a partner. And I told them in less than glowing terms to piss off. Because I really didn't want to be involved with a big company and have contracts and do that sort of stuff. So it took 2 years of courting on their part before they twigged that I wasn't going to be motivated by money or anything else, and the only thing that excited me was whether they'd train my staff. And when they committed to training the staff 4 times a year, we committed to signing a contract to become their first Queensland premier small business partner, and we still are that today.
Fantastic. So training is really important in your organization, Monty?
Absolutely. In fact, well, it's probably our core asset. You were talking about culture, and I always laugh when people in Australia talk about, geez, if you train your people, they'll leave. And I always say, hey, if you don't train your people, they'll stay. And we're in the technology space.
I was just having that conversation this morning, Monty, so it's funny that you bring that up.
Yeah, well, you and I know work with lots of franchises, and some are probably in food and hospitality, and I don't know how much technology changes that industry. But in my industry, the movement of technology is so quick. We've got to continually be reskilling everybody in the company, including old guys like me, because it just keeps moving. The target keeps moving.
Oh. So, Monty, tell us about your company. We know that you do the Google AdWords sort of SEM, SEO type stuff, but tell us about your workforce. How many people you've got? What sort of roles are they in? What are they doing, and what are you doing differently?
Well, there's 10 of us in the company, which is myself and my co-director, and then the other 8. So if you said the 2 co-directors are up here, the other 8 are flat. So there is no hierarchy. And as I've explained to Emma in the past, when this opportunity to come and work with you on OTrain and being here for lunch, I said we're a very odd company because we don't have management structures, we don't have a vision mission statement, we don't have an organizational chart, we don't have any of that stuff. And in fact, I think we have one meeting a year, which is called Christmas lunch. That's when we all get together. But otherwise, we don't have regular meetings because that's not our culture, Shane. We have a culture that just doesn't work that way.